When we think about success, most of us imagine it as something distant, something far away, waiting for us at the end of a long road. We tell ourselves, once I achieve this, once I reach that milestone, once I get that opportunity, then I'll feel successful. But the truth is, success does not begin the day we receive a medal, a title, or recognition. Success begins the moment we choose to believe that it already belongs to us. Think about it. Every great innovation, every movement, every breakthrough started with someone who believed in something before it was visible. The Wright brothers believed in flight long before the world thought it was possible. Their belief gave them the courage to fail repeatedly until they finally succeeded. If they had waited for proof before believing, we would still be grounded. The reason belief is so powerful is that it shapes our behavior. When you believe success is already yours, you begin to act differently. You take risks you wouldn't normally take. You stand taller in rooms you once shrank in. You invest in yourself with the confidence that it will pay off. This shift in behavior changes how others see you, and more importantly, it changes how you see yourself. Now, some people might say, but isn't that just pretending? Isn't it unrealistic to believe in success before it happens? Not at all. Belief is not pretending. Pretending is false hope. Belief is conviction. It is a mindset rooted in the understanding that success is not a sudden event. It is a process that starts inside of us. When you believe success is already yours, rejection no longer feels final. It becomes feedback. Failure no longer feels like defeat. It becomes a stepping stone. And challenges stop being roadblocks. They become teachers. This is how belief attracts success, not magically, but practically. Because when we carry the certainty of success within us, we keep moving forward long enough to meet it in reality. So ask yourself today, what would you do differently if you believed with complete certainty that success is already yours? Would you speak with more confidence? Would you pursue that idea you've been holding back? Would you push through the fear of failure knowing it's only a temporary stop on the way? Believing success is already yours does not make the journey easier. It makes you stronger. It doesn't remove obstacles. It gives you the mindset to overcome them. And in the end, success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who act with the faith that it's already theirs. 5 keynotes of the speech, success begins the moment you believe it already belongs to you, not when you achieve external validation. Belief shapes behavior, and behavior creates the path to achievement. Conviction is not pretending. It is the foundation that fuels persistence and resilience. Viewing rejection, failure, and challenges through the lens of belief transforms them into growth opportunities. Success is not attracted by waiting. It is attracted by acting with certainty and faith in your own potential. Success begins the moment you believe it already belongs to you, not when you achieve external validation. Most people misunderstand this idea because they connect success only with visible results. Money in the bank, awards on the shelf, titles attached to their name, or the applause of an audience. But real success does not wait until the world recognizes it. Real success starts from the quiet but powerful decision you make inside yourself, the decision to claim it as yours before anyone else can see it. When you believe in this way, you shift from chasing success as something external to embodying it as something internal. That shift changes everything about how you live, how you work, and how you carry yourself in the world. Think about how often people postpone their sense of achievement. They say, once I get that promotion, I'll feel successful. Or once I earn a certain amount of money, then I'll consider myself accomplished. But what happens in the meantime? They wait, they hold back. They limit their confidence until some external sign gives them permission to feel proud. The problem is, external validation is always temporary. It can be taken away, it can be delayed, or it can be given to someone else. If success only exists when someone else acknowledges it, you will always feel like you are chasing something beyond your reach. The alternative is to begin from a place of belief. By deciding that success is already yours, you no longer wait for someone else to hand you the key. You realize you've been holding it all along. Believing success is already yours does not mean ignoring reality. It does not mean convincing yourself you've reached the finish line when you are just starting. It means owning the truth that success is not just the result of an outcome. It is the process of showing up, committing, and persisting. Imagine a student preparing for exams. If they see themselves only as a struggler, constantly doubting their ability, their energy is scattered, their confidence drops, and their performance suffers. But if they choose to believe that success in those exams already belongs to them, not in arrogance, but in conviction, they approach their studies differently. They put in the hours with focus. They manage their nerves with calm. They walk into the exam hall with the posture of someone ready to receive what is already theirs. The belief does not magically provide the answers, but it changes the state of mind that produces better results. The same principle is true in business, art, sports, or personal growth. Success is never born only at the finish line. It is cultivated in the daily belief that you are capable, worthy, and ready for it now. Athletes visualize themselves winning long before the competition begins. Entrepreneurs picture their ventures thriving even when the bank account is empty. Writers imagine readers connecting with their words before the first draft is even complete. These are not delusions. They are intentional choices to believe in success as a present reality rather than a distant hope. That belief creates momentum, and momentum attracts opportunities that might otherwise remain invisible. There is also a deeper psychological reason why this belief matters so much. Human beings act in alignment with the stories they tell themselves. If the story is, I'll only be successful once others approve, then every setback feels like proof of inadequacy. But if the story is, I am already successful because I believe in my path, then setbacks become part of a larger journey rather than a final judgment. Your internal belief rewrites how you interpret external events. Where others see obstacles, you see stepping stones. Where others see rejection, you see redirection. That mindset difference often determines who keeps going long enough to eventually be recognized by the world. Belief that success already belongs to you is not about pride or arrogance. It is about identity. When you identify yourself as someone who is already successful in mindset, you no longer operate from desperation. You stop trying to prove yourself constantly and you start expressing yourself fully. This attracts people, resources, and ideas that align with your vision. Others sense confidence not as a mask, but as a natural extension of who you are. That is why some individuals walk into a room and command attention before they say a word, not because they have already made it in the conventional sense, but because they carry the presence of someone who knows success is part of their identity. The irony is that the world often recognizes this belief before the results even show. People want to follow someone who radiates certainty. They invest in leaders, creators, and thinkers who believe deeply in their own mission. If you wait to believe in yourself until after everyone else validates you, you will wait forever. But if you begin with the belief that success is already yours, others begin to see you through that lens, and they respond accordingly. This is the hidden secret behind so many remarkable journeys. The belief was there before the applause. Belief shapes behavior, and behavior creates the path to achievement. This truth is at the heart of why mindset matters so much. What you believe about yourself and your future doesn't just stay hidden inside your thoughts. It shows up in how you act, how you respond to challenges, and how consistently you pursue your goals. The inner conviction you hold inevitably leaks into your choices, your habits, and even the energy you bring into a room. That's why two people with the same skills can end up with entirely different outcomes. The one who believes in success behaves like it is possible, while the one who doubts holds back, hesitates, and never fully commits. Think for a moment about how belief influences risk-taking. When you believe success is possible, you are more willing to step forward, to take risks others avoid, to raise your hand for opportunities, and to venture into unknown spaces. That behavior creates momentum, and momentum often brings chances that doubt would have kept hidden. On the other hand, when you believe success is unlikely or out of reach, you naturally act cautiously. You hesitate to put yourself forward. You avoid risks that could teach you valuable lessons. You retreat into safety, which may feel comfortable but prevents progress. In this way, belief quietly scripts your behavior, and your behavior writes the story of your future. Belief also shapes the effort you're willing to invest. People who hold a deep conviction that success belongs to them don't stop at surface level attempts. They put in the extra practice, the longer hours, and the deeper focus, not because they enjoy struggle, but because their behavior aligns with the belief that their efforts will bear fruit. They see the connection between action and outcome, so their actions multiply. Those who lack belief, however, tend to give up earlier. They see challenges as confirmation that they were never meant to succeed, so their behavior becomes inconsistent. The difference is rarely about raw talent. It is about the level of belief that fuels behavior over time. Consider how this plays out in communication. When someone believes in the value of their ideas, they speak with clarity and confidence. They present their thoughts in ways that attract attention and build trust. Their behavior reflects certainty, and people respond to that. But when someone doubts themselves, even if their ideas are brilliant, they present them timidly. Their behavior signals uncertainty, and others pick up on that hesitation. The content may be strong, but the delivery betrays their lack of belief. Over time, the confident communicator creates opportunities because their behavior inspires trust, while the doubtful one remains overlooked. Another powerful way belief shapes behavior is in resilience. Success is never a straight line. Obstacles, setbacks, and disappointments are inevitable. What makes the difference is how people behave when faced with those obstacles. A person who believes success is already theirs interprets setbacks as temporary. Their behavior is to persist, to adjust, to try again. They keep moving because their belief tells them the destination is still possible. Conversely, a person who doubts their ability or worth sees setbacks as proof of failure. Their behavior is to stop, to retreat, or to lower their ambition. Over time, this difference in persistence defines who crosses the finish line. Belief also influences the consistency of your daily habits. Small actions repeated over time create extraordinary results, but only if those actions are sustained. Belief is the fuel that sustains them. If you truly believe that every small step is building your success, you behave accordingly. You stay disciplined, you keep showing up, you make choices that align with your vision. If you don't believe, discipline feels pointless. The daily actions lose meaning and eventually they fade away. It's not willpower alone that keeps people consistent. It is belief that what they're doing matters and will lead somewhere worthwhile. Even body language is shaped by belief. People who carry a mindset of success walk differently, make eye contact differently, and project their presence differently. They behave in ways that naturally invite respect. This is not performance, it is the physical expression of inner conviction. Others sense it instantly, often without words. That is why belief is not just a private feeling, it is a visible force that influences how the world responds to you. At its core, belief is the architect of behavior. Behavior then becomes the evidence of that belief, and together they build the path to achievement. You don't need to convince anyone with empty words when your actions already demonstrate your conviction. Belief sets the tone, but it is behavior that plays the music others can hear. And when those two align, the path to achievement becomes less about luck and more about inevitability. Conviction is not pretending. It is the foundation that fuels persistence and resilience. Too often, people confuse belief with blind optimism, as if convincing yourself of success is nothing more than daydreaming or wishful thinking. But there is a vast difference between pretending and conviction. Pretending is fragile. It collapses the moment it encounters resistance. Conviction, on the other hand, is rooted in a deeper truth. It is the unwavering commitment to keep going even when the evidence around you has not yet caught up to your vision. Conviction provides stability when circumstances are unstable, and that stability allows you to persist in ways that mere pretending never can. When people pretend, they tend to wear a mask. They tell themselves and others that everything is fine, that success is certain, but beneath that surface, they are filled with doubt. The first setback shatters the mask because pretending has no substance behind it. Conviction is different. Conviction does not deny obstacles, it acknowledges them and chooses to move forward anyway. A person of conviction doesn't say, there will be no difficulties. Instead, they say, difficulties will not stop me. That subtle but powerful shift separates those who give up when things get hard from those who keep going until they find a breakthrough. Conviction fuels persistence because it creates clarity of purpose. When you are deeply convinced that success is part of your future, you stop treating effort as optional. You behave as though persistence is non-negotiable. You wake up early not because someone forces you, but because conviction pushes you. You endure long hours not because you enjoy discomfort, but because conviction reminds you why it matters. Persistence born out of conviction is stronger than persistence born out of pressure. Pressure fades, but conviction renews itself each day. Resilience is also born from conviction. Resilience is the ability to recover after setbacks, to bounce back when circumstances knock you down. Without conviction, setbacks feel permanent. They feel like proof that your goals were unrealistic to begin with. But with conviction, setbacks are absorbed differently. You begin to see them as temporary delays rather than final verdicts. You learn from them, adjust, and rise again because your conviction tells you that the destination has not changed, only the path. In this way, conviction transforms failure from something that stops you into something that strengthens you. History is filled with examples of people whose conviction carried them through impossible odds. Innovators who were told their ideas would never work, leaders who were told their vision was unrealistic, athletes who were told their goals were beyond reach. All of them shared a common trait. They refused to treat obstacles as the end. Their conviction made them resilient, and their resilience eventually became the reason the world recognized them. Without conviction, their ideas would have died in the early stages. With conviction, they endured until others could see what they already believed. Conviction also shapes how you interpret criticism. When you are pretending, criticism feels threatening. It pierces the illusion and exposes the weakness behind it. But when you carry conviction, criticism becomes information rather than destruction. You listen, you evaluate, and you either improve from it or disregard it, but you are not shaken by it. Conviction gives you the emotional stability to remain grounded when opinions around you fluctuate. It protects you from being swayed by every passing judgment because your belief is anchored within, not borrowed from outside approval. The presence of conviction changes how others respond to you as well. People are drawn to those who stand firmly in their beliefs, not arrogantly, but with quiet certainty. Conviction communicates trustworthiness. It signals that you are serious, that you won't abandon your path when the first challenge arises. This draws supporters, mentors, investors, and allies because they want to stand beside someone who is not easily shaken. Pretending may win temporary attention, but conviction wins long-term respect. Conviction also carries a sense of responsibility. Pretending can often be selfish. It's about creating a false image for comfort or for the approval of others. Conviction, however, is outward-facing. It says, because I believe in this vision, I will show up fully, not only for myself, but for others who depend on me. That responsibility deepens persistence because now you are not only carrying your own belief, but also holding space for those who trust you. Conviction strengthens leadership because people will follow someone who has the resilience to keep moving forward no matter what. Ultimately, conviction is the bridge between belief and action. It prevents belief from being reduced to fantasy and prevents action from being weakened by doubt. It anchors your journey so that no matter how long the road feels, you keep moving with purpose. Conviction is not about pretending you have already arrived. It is about knowing so deeply that you will arrive that no obstacle, no criticism, and no setback can persuade you otherwise. And it is this foundation of conviction that keeps persistence alive and resilience unbroken until success becomes reality. Viewing rejection, failure, and challenges through the lens of belief transforms them into growth opportunities. Most people fear these experiences because they see them as signs of inadequacy or proof that they are not good enough. Rejection stings, failure discourages, and challenges exhaust. But these experiences are unavoidable parts of any meaningful journey. The difference lies in interpretation. If you view them as final verdicts, they will shrink your confidence and halt your progress. If you view them through the lens of belief that success is already yours, that you are moving toward a future you are destined to achieve, then rejection, failure, and challenges become teachers, guides, and stepping stones. They stop being barriers and start being resources for growth. Rejection is often one of the hardest experiences to process because it feels personal. It can be the refusal of an opportunity, the denial of a request, or the dismissal of an idea. Many people let rejection define their worth, telling themselves that being turned away means they are not good enough. But through the lens of belief, rejection takes on a different meaning. Instead of seeing it as a closed door forever, you see it as redirection. It means the timing was not right, or the environment was not aligned, or something better is ahead. Belief allows you to understand that one person's refusal does not erase your potential. In fact, rejection often refines your path, steering you toward places you might not have considered if everything had been an easy yes. Failure carries a similar weight. Society often labels failure as shameful, as if it's the opposite of success. Yet failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process that creates it. Every inventor, artist, leader, or athlete who achieved greatness encountered failure repeatedly. What separated them from those who stopped was not that they avoided failure, but that they interpreted it differently. Through the lens of belief, failure is feedback. It reveals what doesn't work, highlights blind spots, and offers lessons that no theory or preparation could have taught. Belief enables you to face failure without crumbling, because deep inside you are convinced that this one setback does not erase the bigger picture. It becomes easier to rise again, equipped with wisdom you would never have gained without the stumble. Challenges also shift meaning when filtered through belief. Challenges are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are signs that you are growing beyond your comfort zone. Growth demands resistance the way muscles demand weight to become stronger. Without challenges, there is no expansion, no stretching of capacity, no real transformation. Through the lens of belief, you begin to welcome challenges as confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. They test your patience, discipline, and creativity, but they also develop them. Belief allows you to see that challenges are not punishments. They are invitations to rise to a higher level of ability and resilience. The real power of this lens lies in how it reshapes your emotional response. Without belief, rejection feels like humiliation, failure feels like defeat, and challenges feel like punishment. With belief, rejection becomes redirection, failure becomes feedback, and challenges become training. That emotional shift prevents you from spiraling into discouragement. It keeps your energy alive and your motivation intact. Instead of shrinking back, you lean forward. Instead of stopping, you adapt. This resilience compounds over time and becomes a defining factor in your success. Belief also helps you recognize that every person you admire has walked the same path. The leaders you look up to, the innovators you study, the artists you celebrate, all of them faced rejection, failure, and challenges. The difference is that they didn't interpret those experiences as reasons to quit. They saw them as evidence they were trying, learning, and improving. Their belief created persistence, and that persistence turned obstacles into achievements. When you adopt the same lens, you begin to feel less isolated in your struggles. You realize you are part of the same human story of growth. This lens also strengthens your creativity. When you are not paralyzed by fear of failure or rejection, you take bolder risks, experiment with new ideas, and explore unconventional paths. Belief liberates you from the need to be perfect and gives you the courage to be innovative. Challenges, instead of scaring you, become opportunities to test new approaches. Rejections, instead of silencing you, push you to refine your message until it resonates. Failures, instead of stopping you, inspire you to find a better way. Creativity thrives in this atmosphere because belief removes the heaviness of judgment and replaces it with curiosity and persistence. Over time, this transformation compounds. Each rejection endured strengthens your confidence that you can handle the next. Each failure survived adds another layer of wisdom to your foundation. Each challenge overcome stretches your capacity for even greater ones ahead. What once looked like roadblocks now look like milestones marking your growth. And it all becomes possible because belief reshapes the way you interpret these experiences. Success is not attracted by waiting. It is attracted by acting with certainty and faith in your own potential. Many people hold back from taking action because they are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect opportunity. They tell themselves that once they feel completely ready, then they will begin. But the truth is, waiting rarely brings clarity. Waiting creates hesitation, and hesitation breeds fear. Success does not come to those who sit still hoping for conditions to align. It comes to those who take action in faith, trusting that their steps will lead them where they need to go. Certainty in yourself and belief in your vision are what make those steps possible. The act of moving forward, even without complete certainty of the outcome, sets powerful forces in motion. Each action you take generates feedback, creates momentum, and builds confidence. By moving, you discover what works and what doesn't. You refine your skills and sharpen your strategy. If you wait, you learn nothing. Action is the teacher. Hesitation is the thief of progress. Belief allows you to act with courage, knowing that every step, no matter how small, is carrying you closer to the success that already belongs to you. Acting with certainty does not mean you know all the answers in advance. It means you choose to trust yourself enough to figure things out along the way. When you walk into a room with the certainty that you belong there, people respond to that energy. When you present an idea with faith in its value, others are more likely to listen. When you take a risk with conviction in your potential, opportunities begin to reveal themselves. The outside world mirrors the certainty you project. Success is attracted not because the path is flawless, but because your belief-driven actions create momentum that others can see and join. Faith in your own potential also changes how you handle uncertainty. The world is unpredictable, and no journey unfolds exactly as planned. Those who wait for perfect certainty are paralyzed by the unknown. But those who act with faith embrace uncertainty as part of the process. They trust that their potential is bigger than the challenges ahead. They believe that even if the path shifts, they will adapt, learn, and continue. This faith transforms uncertainty from something frightening into something empowering. Instead of holding you back, it pushes you forward, reminding you that the unknown is often where the greatest opportunities hide. Another important truth is that success requires visibility. Opportunities rarely come to those who remain hidden, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal themselves. By acting boldly and consistently, you place yourself where opportunities can find you. Every email sent, every idea shared, every attempt made increases your chances of being seen. Waiting keeps you invisible. Acting, even imperfectly, makes you visible. And visibility is often the bridge between belief and opportunity. Consider the difference between someone who dreams of starting a business but keeps waiting for the right time, and someone who starts small with what they have. The one who waits remains stuck in planning, while the one who acts begins learning about customers, markets, and resilience. With each small step, the door moves closer to success while the dreamer remains still. It is not superior ideas alone that create achievement. It is the willingness to act on them with certainty and faith that makes the difference. Acting with faith also attracts support. People are drawn to momentum. When others see you taking consistent action, they begin to trust your vision and are more willing to contribute. They sense your seriousness and respond to your energy. On the other hand, hesitation creates doubt, not only within you, but also in those around you. If you do not act on your own belief, why should anyone else believe in it? Your willingness to move forward with conviction inspires others to walk beside you. There is also a compounding effect in action. Small steps taken consistently with certainty build into larger achievements over time. Each action becomes a brick in the foundation of success. If you wait, you collect nothing. But if you act, you accumulate experiences, skills, and connections that stack upon one another. Over months and years, those who act steadily surpass those who wait endlessly. Faith ensures that even when results are not immediate, you continue building, trusting that the structure will eventually stand tall. Acting with certainty and faith is not about arrogance. It is about alignment. It means aligning your daily behavior with the belief that success is already yours. It means choosing movement over paralysis, courage over fear, and persistence over hesitation. Waiting leaves you powerless because it places your destiny in the hands of external circumstances. Acting empowers you because it proves day after day that you are willing to create your future rather than hope for it. Success is not drawn to hesitation. It is drawn to conviction in motion. Success has never been about waiting for the right moment, the perfect plan, or the approval of others. It has always been about belief. Belief that it already belongs to you, belief that shapes your behavior, belief that builds conviction, belief that transforms rejection and failure into teachers, and belief that gives you the courage to act with certainty. The path to success is not reserved for the most talented, the most privileged, or the luckiest. It is built by those who choose to live each day as if their success is already unfolding. The moment you decide to believe, you begin to carry yourself differently. You show up with a presence that commands attention. You act with a consistency that builds momentum, and you persist with a resilience that outlasts obstacles. People notice, opportunities gather, and progress accelerates, not because success appeared out of nowhere, but because you aligned your inner conviction with your outer actions. So do not wait for someone else to tell you you're ready. Do not wait for conditions to be perfect. Success does not arrive by chance. It is attracted by those who believe deeply, act boldly, and refuse to stop until what they envision becomes real. The future you desire is already yours. Your task is simply to believe it, embody it, and walk toward it with certainty.